Okay, so just a couple, I felt that it's appropriate, I guess, to just, I probably will not put any Chidushim tonight. It's basically certain Hashkafos, which I think we all know. But I think the reason why I would like to share with you these Hashkafos, Chazal, Shmuzin, a couple of different things, stories, a lot of stories, some great stories, some boring stories, but all different types of stories. But the idea is because what we're talking about is in terms of, I guess, appreciating or recognizing Hashkocha Pratis, that everything is Basher, comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's so important because it makes such a difference in terms of our life, how we do things. I told the guys in Shir today that I would start off with what happened today. I'll give you an example, okay? An example of what it means to have a greater insight of Hashkocha Pratis, right? Is that what I told the guys in Shir today, right? So I said this morning what happened. I was sitting in the Beis Medrash upstairs, and I guess I made a little mistake, okay? And I was nichshal, and I really shouldn't touch my email during Seder, right? I hear a buzz all of a sudden on the table like this, right next to my learning. I picked it up. That was a mistake. I opened it up. I opened the email. I wanted to see what it was. And it goes, a lot of times some things are going to get mice, a quick response. So it wasn't a total, it wasn't a very Lishmora, it wasn't a terrible grace Avera, but maybe it was a mistake. But I opened it up. And Lamaisa, I saw an email which was very, very upsetting. Okay, it was a very upsetting email. Very upsetting. Someone sent an email about a certain topic. I can't go into it. It's not okay. Our discussions. I can't tell you about it. I probably couldn't tell you anyway about it. Well, Lamaisa was a very potentially upsetting email. What did I do? So if I went, this is not about me. It's not about anything like that. But just so what did I do? So I could have easily been upset, and not prepared to share properly. Or we got smashed by the guys in the Shia. Rabbi, come on, you're not saying Kedushim today, what's going on? No Kashim, no Terushim, what's going on? So I said to myself, I can't do that. I said, if it happened, if I saw this email just now, Baruch Hu put it there in front of me, wanted me to see it, right? Right? Hashem wanted me to see it now. And Hashem, wants to see how am I going to respond to it? What am I going to do? Am I going to go ahead and get all distracted, get all flustered, and what's going to be? I can't handle this Michigan guy from who knows where is doing the wrong thing and hurting the yeshiva and the talmidim money, whatever it might be. That money, what it might be. so that's one mahalach. The other mahalach is Hashem is watching me to see how do I respond. And if I keep my cool and say, listen, I'll take care of it later. Hashem wants me to take care of it. That's core. There's no shout about what Hashem wants me to do. That's pashut in my opinion. Hashem did not want me to look at it. So Hashem, I didn't look at it, put it aside, so it's for later. Okay, I know Hashem wants me to look at it later, not now, and not think about not get all worked up, or maybe never get worked up about it, but not focus on it, not figure out what to do about it. Unfortunately, that's what I did. So I was left with a good Seder. We set some nice Kedushim, I think, here today. Between myself and Talmidim, we had a good kasha, some good terrace here, it was great. But that's only because of both. I'm just giving you a little example of how what we're discussing tonight is Nogea every single day. It's not just Hilchas davening, which will get hopefully all services today, but it's our life on both sides. Baruch Hu puts us here for challenges. Hashem wants to see how we respond. And if you recognize that whatever happens to me, Baruch Hu, Hashem is testing me or wants me to react accordingly, so it makes a tremendous difference in our response. A couple examples of both. Like I said, some stories, some Chazal. Let's start with the famous Chazal, famous Shmuz. Well, part of it's famous, but the part that I want is not famous, I don't think. There's a pasuk in Bo, Hayom Atem Yosem B'Chodesh Aviv. Right, today you're going out from Mitzrayim in the month of the Aviv, in the spring, says Rashi. Don't we know when Kal Yisrael went out? Everyone knows. It was the springtime, it was a Pesach time. Everyone knows that. But what was Hashem saying? The follows: Ru'u chesed shegamalchem. See, Ru'u chesed shegamalchem. Look how much chesed Hashem did for you. Shehotzi eschem b'chodesh shu kosher. Let's say so. He took you out, in a great month. It's beautiful weather. It's kosher. It's all chama, not too much heat. It's tzina, not cold. No geshamim. Chodesh shu kosher l'seisba. And therefore appreciate the chesed Hashem to you. Look. So the famous shmuz is, I think it's Rosh Shmuz, I'm not sure I recall, but the famous shmuz is, you see, I think it makes a difference to these guys. They're going out of Mitzrayim for 400 years, 410, 430, whatever it was, and 210, and then out of Mitzrayim, and they're free, they're mamish free of their torturous slave masters, So you think it makes a difference to them if there's it's raining outside, it's snowing, it's cold, I don't even notice that. I'm free, I don't care about it. So that's the old-time famous Chazal, famous Kiddush, that every person's supposed to expect to appreciate even the smallest Chazal. Right? Even when it's normally it's overcome, it's overwhelmed, it's just smothered by the tremendous chesed taken on Mitzrayim. You're still have to expect the magish every single day here in Dakas of the chesed, right? That's the famous rule. They're both have a kasha. Let's go to Pshat in the Chazal, right? So I guess here, let's go to Pshat in the Chazal. What was that? What's the big chesed? Hashem took us out now. Now what does that mean? Okay? Hashem took us out because it's Chodesh of such good weather. Okay, if it wasn't that chesed, what would have happened? Right? Hashem would have taken us out when? Later on? It was supposed to be taken out 2 months later, but it was too hot, and Hashem took us out earlier. That's not just chesed of nice weather, it's chesed of 2 months to less jail time. Right? So that's not what the Rashi means, right? It wouldn't talk about the chesed of Hashem, that's the nicer weather, that's mamish 2 months earlier. Right? So it's a much bigger chesed, Karshtel, right? Doesn't mean that. Elamai what? No, they were supposed to go out in the middle of the winter, in December time, and they stayed extra till the springtime. That's a chesed. I don't want to try. I'd rather go out when it's cold outside than 3-4 months less of Avdus. So what's the chesed? Elamai. It's Pashut. They're supposed to go out after 400 years or 430, whatever the exact, all the different cheshbonos, right? Hashem appeared to the Bris Bein Storm was Pesach time. I think it was the first night of Pesach. I think it says the Rashi over there. Supposed to go 400 years later. They were supposed to go out then. That's when they were supposed to go out. There wasn't early, it wasn't later. So can you imagine a judge going this? Here's the judge. You know, the guy's in jail. He comes out, he's supposed to be released on May 21st, after 15 years in jail. He gets out, he's walking out, and the judge says, look at that. I'm such a nice guy. You know, you're sentenced to 15 years in jail, and you're walking out now, it's beautiful weather. Well, the judge says, nothing with you. I deserve 15 years. It came out, Baruch Hashem, it's beautiful weather. What does it do with the judge? The judge takes credit for that. Ru chesed gamalcha. What's the big chesed? So that's when the time's up. Baruch Hashem, you know, Baruch Hashem, right? It worked out. It was a great day. So what's the chesed Hashem? Teresh Abosai. I think what this means, Abosai. Excuse me. What happens is the chesed is the Hakadosh Baruch Hu. You can say a couple different angles, but it's all the same shot, all the same idea, really. That is because Hakadosh Baruch Hu created the world 2,448 years earlier, right? 2448, that's the number, right? 2,448 years earlier, right? Hashem knew there was a master plan with a master brilliant computer. Hashem works everything out, how everything's supposed to work out. You know what happened? Hashem worked it out, that the seasons, listen to the seasons, when hot, cold, you know, temperate, spring, winter, all the 4 seasons worked out so that because Hashem knew He'd speak to Abraham for whatever cheshbon on first night of Pesach, right? And that was whatever reason that was happening, you know. And He made sure that Hashem set the Bria up that there should be spring 430, I think it was 430 years later, right? At that time, whereas Pesach could have been the middle of winter. Right? When Hashem made Bria Olam, right? Could have made Pesach freezing. Could have been Tisha B'Av would be freezing. It could be Chanukah is a boiling hot, right? How do you work it out? Okay, there's a million cheshbonos, I'm sure. One of the cheshbonos, Rashi is telling us, the Pasuk is telling us, Hakadosh Baruch Hu made it that thousands of years ago Hashem worked it out that you should go ahead and be going out to Chodesh Av. That's the chesed Hashem. I think that's pshat. And Baruch said, this is a mind-boggling idea that we're not talking about just Hashem figures out tomorrow and what's going to be today, you know. The whole bria, right, the whole creation, everything about it is determined, you know, by Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Could be not always. I don't know how it works, 1,000 years or that, but even 1,000 years in advance, Hashem makes the whole bria is created and set up and set to go, set into motion in a certain way. You know why? For various reasons. Over here, Chesed Hashem. The reasons I don't know why. There's many different reasons why. Over here, Chesed Hashem. So Hashem made it that the first night of Pesach should be in a nice spring time. You know why? The Kaisro, when they go out 24-48 later on, they should have a good temperature. That's our both. So they have to just stay here. Both say everything is Yad Hashem. Everything is as part of the master plan. Now it's hard to figure that one out, right? How do you? But what about the Shimshon had to have a certain way? I don't know whether there's a million times over the millennia that there had to be different things worked out. Okay, so Hashem can figure it out. That's Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, He can figure it all out to put it into one gigantic master schedule. But the bottom, whatever the schedule, whatever happens to us, when you go out When you come to when Miami comes to New York to be in the yeshiva, to be in Kew Garden Hills for the summer's man of Tufshin Ayin Test, right? Tufshin Ayin Test, right? That, and the weather is hot or cold, whatever it might be, or this room is big enough to contain us, there's enough chairs over here, and they have delicious gavaldic food and all that, That's all part of the plan. And I don't know, it probably was my brace. I don't know, I can't tell you when the plan was, but it sounds like it probably was. I don't know how that worked. It doesn't make a difference when it was. I mean, you see over here, it took place the 24, 40 years ago. I assume the same that Hashem gave us that chicken today, the plan was, 57, 79 years ago, Hashem worked it out. Not old, the chicken's not that old, but the plan is that old, right? So, yeah, whatever we have, Rabbi, whatever we have now, whatever happens to us today, in fact, I'm sitting here with all these choshev talmidim. Hashem worked it out 57, 79 years ago that I should have the schus to talk to you guys about this. Hopefully you guys have the schus to listen, hopefully it's schus both ways, right? But that's all part of the plan, both. You have to realize that. It's not just, it happens, and because the yeshiva decided that in the summertime we should go to Kew Garden Hills, therefore there's, no. It's all part of the master plan. Now, obviously, the only things which are not bechira. Bechira is a different story, right? But all the things which are our environmental factors, right? That Hashem set in motion thousands of years ago. Can I tell you some stories? Okay. But if you had that appreciation of both, they had the appreciation of the fact that Baruch Hu runs the world. Okay, we'll start with the first famous story. Everyone, I think we've all told, a million times over the story about the Rishivas Asal with his myasthenia gravis, right? And he was very sick, and he went to the doctor with Rabbi, and the guy, I'll make it fast with 30 years, we'll know the story, I think, but it's just the same idea on both sides. So the doctor treated him like a nothing, and he was very haughty, and I'm God in this room, all the details of that story. He was so treated the Rishiva in such a negative way, treated all people like that. He said, in this room I'm God. It was like, in this room I'm the king, I'm in charge of it, no one else counts, So the Rishiva turned to the David on the way out, he walked out, and he said to David Shea, he says, we're not going back to this doctor. Now in those days, myasthenia gravis, I think now it's much better, but there was the studies of how to treat it was mamish in its infancy. And there was no real good way of treating it. There was no solution, there was no medicine for it, and it was potentially lethal. The disease right affects your nerves. I remember the Rabbi used to come to share at that time before it was cured. He used to come to share, his lids would drop down because he couldn't keep them open, right? It wasn't strong enough. The nerves were going. So I remember he used to say, sit and share like this, mamish like this. He used to say, because then he can see underneath like this, so he can see straight. Couldn't see it was like this. So like this, he saw the guy. See, that's how that's what it was. And that was just the beginning. I mean, that could have been not fatal. So Shaz, he walked out and he tells the Rabbi, so we're not going back to this guy. And he was the best guy. He was the top doctor in this field. He's done all the latest research and do all the stuff. The doctor says to him, he says, Rabbi, how can you do that? But this the doctor. He's the guy who knows the business. This life is pikuach nefesh. So you'll suffer a little bit of busyness. Like, what's the big deal? So you overcome your, I didn't say your gaiva or your ego, right? That's not what he said, but you overcome and deal with it. So you'll be finished again in a couple months. So come on, another couple visits. What's the big deal? Says David, no. This guy, obviously, because of his midah, so this is not halacha for us to apply, whatever. That's a different child, but through his recognition, he said, this guy is not the one who will be zocha to heal me. Doesn't stim according to hashkafa. And therefore, so I'll find a different doctor. If I go to the second best doctor, it's not the doctor that heals, Kodesh Baruch Hu heals. If you have that recognition, that Kodesh Baruch Hu is in charge, and a person's health amongst everything else, Kodesh Baruch Hu, it's a different world, different psak. I just saw a very similar story about Rabbi Belsky Hassau. He was lived a couple of years ago, as you know, and a couple of years before that, he was sick. He was very sick for a while. He got better, Baruch Hashem. So I think it was in that previous sickness from which he got better from. He was in a certain hospital, and they wanted to do a certain procedure, whatever, and the family, the doctors felt, or whatever it was, they felt that it would be much better to transfer to a different hospital, different doctor, different hospital, different place. The care is better, whatever. It's better for his survival. But Rebelsky was in and out, whatever, he wasn't doing too well, so the Esher David finds him. What do? Should we transfer to a different hospital? Go Esher Rebelsky, try to get him when he's conscious enough, whatever, it wasn't very schwach. And ask him, what should we do? Should we transfer to a different hospital? So they came to him, and I guess they found the time when it was okay. They asked him, Rebbe, what should we do? We want to transfer to a different hospital, different doctor, whatever. He says, the shum oifen, no. Don't you dare transfer it. Rabbi, better service, better doctor, whatever it is. I don't think it was better doctor, just a better place, whatever. So he says, no, because if you transfer me, the doctor in charge of me will think that they're transferring me because they want a better doctor. He's not so good. It'll hurt him. He'll feel bad that he can't be Rabbi Belsky's, a doctor. That's not right. What do you mean? This pikuach nefesh. What are you talking about, Rabbi? Come on, get with it, So the guy will feel real. What do you want to do? You have to save your life. That's not the way to save your life. Forget it, Rabbi. It's not psak for everyone, and you have to know when to apply it. But if you recognize that Baruch was in charge, it's not medicine, it's not doctors, it's not derech hateva, there ain't no such thing. So also Baruch would say, you live a different life, you pass some different things. There was a bacher, I saw there was a bacher who was engaged, some Hasidic guy in Eretz Yisrael was engaged, Yerushalayim was engaged to become a chassan. A couple of weeks later, they found he had a tumor, a malignant tumor, which was shrekach, and they went to the doctor. The doctor says, we can't treat it, you have to go to Boston. Boston is the best place to go. Okay, you have to go for this sickness, you have to go to Boston, America. Obviously, got expenses. Guy was a yosem, he had no one. Chasna, he had to get married, he wanted to stay alive for the chasna. So it seems a bunch of Yugalite, Kol Yugalite got together. They all tried to raise money. There was one individual who went out of his way, he says, this guy needs a tata, he needs someone, to take charge. He took it upon himself. He went with him to Boston. He shut him to Boston. He raised a whole bunch of different fundraisers, and he was instrumental in raising $77,000 to pay for the medical treatments, the fights, all the stuff, whatever it was. So, Baruch Hashem, it doesn't say that soon was successful, it doesn't say too much about the results of that, but he raised so much money to help him out. A couple weeks after that, this younger man was approached. He was I think in the Belzer Shul, I think it was. They were having a Belzer raffle. It's called the famous Belzer Lotto, I think it's called. They have a sweepstakes over here, right? Same right here, right? And so he was approached by someone selling Belzer Lotto tickets. Buy one for $18. Okay, here's $18. Give $18. He won $77,000. The same exact number on both sides. Someone's in charge. Doesn't happen. It's not just time to do a mitzvah and Hashem. Hashem, we're not always over to see it. But you have to realize that there's someone in charge, someone watching what we do. It's payback with his Ol Hazeh, with his Ol Haba. We're a lot of times we're talking just Ol Haba, sometimes Ol Hazeh, that's different bonus. The bottom line are both, so you have to always remember that someone's watching, someone's in charge, and the Sefer HaPirion. Have you heard the Sefer HaPirion? Mayo? I didn't hear about it until what about her? Right, who wrote Sefer HaPirion? The same author as the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. What's the name? Right. So he wrote the Sefer HaPirion. And he asked the kasha, which I think is asked around town. I think it's probably that's the shayla. I'm not sure the kasha. That's not for. We're not trying to find this mucher, but the concept I'm sure is true. He asked the kasha. Why is it that Rivka Imenu gave birth to Yaakov and Esav, right? At full term, 9 months, right? Twins, but 9 months, she carried the full term, so 9 months. When it comes to Tamar gave birth after 6 months, to her twins, Zerach and Peretz and Zerach. Why 6 months? What's the difference? What's going on? Listen to what he says. He says, you know why? He says, because we know the famous Chazal, that Avraham Avinu died 5 years before, Yitzchak, right? Who is it? Avram, right? Avram died at 175, Yitzchak was 180, right? Why did Avram live as long as Yitzchak lived? It should have been the same, at least, but they said it's 5 years earlier, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that Esav would be born, and when he hits 15 years old, he'll become a Rasha, he'll be Yosef's harvest raw, and Hashem wanted to spare Avraham Avinu of the tsar of seeing his grandson become a Russian Marusha. Therefore, he made him die when he was 15 years old, which was when he was 175. That's in the basic cheshbon. I got the math right, I think so. That's what the Chazal say. It says that Reb Shlomo Ganzfried says the same thing applies to the also. If normally speaking, I guess his kasha was that you should give birth after 6 months, right? After 6 months, twins, it's hard to carry, whatever. 6 months, why is 9 months? He says, Pasha, he says, if she would give birth after 6 months, 3 months earlier, Avram would have had to die 3 months earlier. The same cheshbon. Avram would have to die 3 months earlier, right? Because he would be, he would have to die 3 months earlier, because otherwise he'd see Esav. So Hashem says, That's not Hashem. But Hashem plans the world. Hashem plans it out. They have to go ahead and a Rabbi is supposed to X amount of time. Right? If we're born, which way is it? Right.
It was early.
It would be 15, 3 months ago.
Right. It's not. I get whatever chesed is right, but that's the idea, right? So Meila Hashem says that he's not going to die. I don't want 5 years is one thing, not 5 years, every month. Meila Hashem says, so that's the plan, it's advanced. Hashem plans the whole thing, everything with the cheshbon. Whatever happens, a person dies, a person is born, a person gets married, it's all with the cheshbon. You guys, one of these days start going out, at least the younger guys, right? All the guys are past it, but everything's with the cheshbon. Rabbi, I want to go out for a couple years early. I'm already 22. I'm getting an old man, 23 already. Whatever it is, you have to ask the shaila, recognizing there's a time when Hashem wants me to go out. It's part of the master plan. That's for bechira, but you have to choose the right bechira to pass and try it properly. And you have to know that you go out too early, and you get stuck with the wrong girl because Hashem only has the right girl waiting for you later on. You have a problem. Right? That's just aside the advertisement. There's a very interesting chazal about a very interesting medrash. I'm going to share with you quickly, but it's very interesting. I saw it sitting up one time. It says in medrash Rabbi by the Birchas Yaakov, Yisachar Chamor Gora. Right? Yisachar was a Chamor Gora. He used to be sold with the Torah. He was a big Torah learner. Peirosav Shal Yisachar Gasen Hayim. The peros from his field, from his orchard, were gigantic. Big apples, big oranges, Mussar. Okay? The shift of Yisachar and all the people in Yisachar, the salesman, I guess, no tell mehem and first beyond used to go. It's something to give it to Zulun, to give whatever. It used to be sold out in some foreign country. Almost all of them, the people in the world would see the peros, would see the fruits. Umasmi and Aleah, they used to wonder, like, wow, what is such big apples? I've never looked at gigantic oranges in my life. It's ridiculous. Where did it come from? And the people said to them, you're wondering about these fruits? Maybe you probably think that the people who produce these fruits, they're big, strong guys, they work overtime in the fields, they put more fertilizer in the water probably, and they're on top of the fruits and whatever's best to make the fruits grow the best, That's you probably think. Look at those guys. It's a bigger kash in the fruits. The guys are simple little guys, they're busy learning Torah, they're not even involved in the stuff in the field. It doesn't even happen. They're not out there. They're after half quarter, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't sound much, but much less than normal because this guy's busy learning Torah. That's the biggest kash you should have. But like the Pasuk says, but that's the terrorist, he says. He says they were bigger. He says they were bigger because Hashem Baruch Hu loves the world, and Hashem makes sure that these guys, Hashem gives them the schus. Like you learn Torah, you're involved in Torah, your parnasa comes from Shua P'yah Chateva, comes more Siyat Shmaya. Right? So you work, you get nothing sometimes. You learn, you work a little bit. You have to say, okay, you have to do a shtar. I'm not saying to drop the shtaros from it. That's not the point of the chazal thing. But the bottom of the both sides, all be on Hashem, to do what Hashem wants, to try to figure out what Hashem wants, to do with yashrus, with emes, with integrity, with gezela, with shmir Shabbos. That's when you get your parnasa. That's where it comes from on both sides. So that's why Yehud Yisachar, who was the biggest kiddush, they have nice fruit because they put the least time in. They got the best fruits. They got the best stuff. Because I always tell the guys, if you probably heard, I'm sorry if I'm repeating, but I always tell the guys about the Bididi Havi Uvda. I see, there's one example, a lot of examples, but one I would talk about, not too personal. I tell you, I've got my air conditioner. I tell you guys to see about the air conditioner. I'll tell those guys don't know about it. My air conditioner, my house, like central air. It's, I don't know, 15 years old, whatever it was, maybe it's 20, I don't recall anymore, different piece of it, the compressor, the air handle, whatever. So the compressor about 7-8 years ago was making a lot of noise. It was already maybe 8-10 years old, I don't know, it was making a lot of noise. And we got a citation from the city because the guy across the street was complaining. They complained about the noise, it was bothering him. Okay, I couldn't sleep, I don't know, okay, but it was noise, there's no question, that was reality. And what happened? So I called my ex, we got a citation, a summons, they have to fix it, 60 days, whatever it was. So I called Mendy, my air conditioning guy, come down. The Rabbi, it's an old air conditioner, I can't promise, but I'll put in it's like a blanket, the muffler, they put it to soften the noise, it's not gonna give it new life, if I die in half a year, whatever, it dies, but okay. That was 7 years ago. Still going strong, though, there's still air conditioner, still there. But Baruch Hu takes care of the world, when he wants to, It's close to you guys, I shouldn't have to run around with my air conditioning guy all day long, and then find the money to buy another $10,000 unit, Hashem says, let the air conditioning run stronger, guys, please. Keep on running well. Keep on diving my air conditioning, okay? But that's such a posh, simple example of how Hashem is behind the wall. There's no derech hateva, it doesn't exist. Whatever happens, it happens like with Baruch Hu backing behind it. There's a Gemara both sides. The Gemara says, Ein, Gemara in Rosh Hashanah Vaad, Ein ishto shel adam mesa, a person's wife does not die, elam kain vakshin menu mammon beino. Unless they go ahead and ask him for money and he doesn't have it. That's the Gemara says. When does a person's wife die? The person is asking for money and he doesn't have it. It says the Gemara, there's Tosa over there, Tosa Pshat. Tosa over there, Pshat. Because what it means if someone makes a pledge to stock it, wants to give money to stock it, and comes time to pay it, the guy doesn't pay it. Doesn't pay his pledge. Vakshin men mammon, they know he doesn't pay the pledge. They asked him for money with the pledge, and he didn't pay his pledge. So in that case, it's never a terrible thing. His wife can die from that. Okay. So there was a certain guy by Sukkot, a certain guy by Sukkot was very nervous. He used to go around and encourage people to make pledges. And when he saw this chazal, he used to tell himself, maybe it's not I'm not doing the right thing. Because I encourage a guy to make a pledge, he doesn't do it. I kill his wife. Pikuach nefesh, right? That was his shayla. So the shayla was brought to Rav Aaron Steinman, I don't know Rav Steinman, that's all. What do we do? Is it, I have to be nervous if I machshel, I cause the guy to make a pledge? He says, no, it doesn't work that way. No one dies, no lady, no wife ever die because her husband does not go ahead and make good on his pledge. The lady dies because she's basher, she should die. She's not zolch, whatever her Hashem, she has her own basher, that she has to go ahead and die now. What the Gemara means is that if a guy gets stuck and fulfills his pledges, then that's a schus to keep her alive. She doesn't have a schus, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of her because the husband has a schus. But Mr. Take care of your pledge, that'll be a schus. If you don't do it, you won't get the schus. Your wife will die because of her punishment, because of her averos. That's what it says in the Chazal.
Lepshan, all those Chazals?
What?
Lepshan, every
I don't know which Chazal you don't, but whatever. But I don't know. Anyway, but I wrote the same thing on both sides. It's all basher. There's a plan. You measure the schus, you measure the chobos. It's a plan on both sides. It's to realize whatever we do, it's guided by Kodesh Baruch Hu's plans.
Why do you need environment's terrace? You just say it was worked out, 5,000 whatever years before.
Gemara just because of the fact that he was not. That explained the Gemara. The Gemara said that this guy's not making the pledge. Okay, here's one of those wild stories I wrote. But it's true about it. It's a real story. There was a certain Rosh Yeshiva, doesn't tell you what it is. A certain Rosh Yeshiva that he was a tremendous, big, very Mussar to Talmidim, very Talmidim. But in those days they had no money. She had no money, and they used to go without food. They skip meals sometimes. There was no money in yeshiva, so once in a while they couldn't have a meal. Every finally he found 8 years. The year, the next stop, and that's a couple whatever miles down the road. The next train stop, whatever it was. He said, "Listen, I have to go." He goes there. He goes to the train station. He's standing there, and you have this pessimist or the skeptic, this Letz who's nearby, the local Letz. He's this rabbi who shoots at the train station. "Rabbi, what are you doing here? What's going on? Everything okay, Rabbi?" So he says, "Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to raise some money. I'm going to the station next door down. I'm going to the next train station, next city down the block. I'm going to get on the train." He says, "Do you have a ticket?" "No. Why do you buy a ticket?" "I don't have any money to buy a ticket. I don't have any money." He says, "Well, you're not going to buy a ticket here without any money. It's not going to work, Rabbi. You're wasting this ridiculous, But Baruch will take care of me. Somehow I'll get a ticket somehow. I don't know." So he sees the train starts coming, and he sees, "No, you have a ticket, Rabbi?" "I'll take care of it somehow." Train comes, stops, everyone's lining up, and the rabbi gets on line. He says, "What a fool, you're crazy. What do you have no ticket? What are you going to do?" Baruch will take care of him. The Rebbe says, it's ridiculous. He sees he's about to get on the end there, he says, Rabbi, I'm going to pay for you this time, but I'll never do it again. Okay, we can't do that on both sides, but bottom line is it's real. It's not a crazy story. It works on both sides. Obviously, if they're big about talking for that, I'm not saying we should do that, if you're status, but the bottom line is these stories are real, they're true, it's documented, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. Recognize it. Recognize that's our challenge to act as with the knowledge that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in charge and runs the world. I both say it applies not just to money and to gash, it applies to ruchnius. Both say famous, right? Yogato Mussar Tam. What does that mean, right? So everyone asks the kasha, but she was supposed to the kasha all the time. Why is Yogato Mussar? Mussar means like the Russian Mitzvah, you found it. Right? Yogato Mussar. Yogato Kanisa, whatever, you deserve it. Mitzvah, like you found it. You don't find something. You're working hard and you try to build a table. A table you put it together. It's not. Oh, you worked hard on Mussar, you found the table. You didn't find it. You put it together. You made it. If you work hard, you got the chachma. What's Mussar? Says the Rashiva, or says the Chazal. I don't know. I'm not sure who he quotes. I think one of the Mussar quotes. He says because of the Mitzvah, because when it comes to Torah, there's no such thing as derech hateva. Torah is beyond derech hateva. It's not math. You got and you get it. Science, you get it. That's derech hateva. With a certain brain power, when it comes to Torah, to epistic Torah, with the depths and understanding of Das Torah, you get it because it's a special Messiah. It's a schus. It's not a tit for tat. It's a special schus you get. Hashem will give it to you as a Messiah. You'll find that Hashem will give it to you, even though it doesn't make sense. You don't deserve it. It doesn't come. It's not a natural thing because you work hard. You get the Torah. No, you get a special matana. That's the way. So that's how it works in this. Hashem is behind the guy who works out in the tosis, works hard. He works out in the kasha and the hafla, which doesn't make any sense. Then you work hard, you get a teretz. It's a mitzvah, right? Hashem puts it into your brain all of a sudden. Pop. They say about Shmuel Rozovsky, right? I passed by my son-in-law's house tonight. Passed by my grandson always he has a bookcase of Strong Got Bar Mitzvah. It's a whole set of Kedusha of Shmuel Rozovsky, right? He's known, he's Mekubal, everyone, he's like the Rashiva of all the Rashivas in terms of Magid Shir. Everyone loves the Shir, right? You guys familiar with it, you guys do it all the time. So I think it was the Rashiva of Shabin Yeshiva, I don't remember, Gershinovsky, I think I've got his name. But he was Rashiva of Shabin. And he said, let me tell you why, Shmuel is Zocha, that his Torah was so Mekubal amongst the Yeshiva Shabbat, amongst all the Rashivas of the Yeshiva Shabbat. I'll tell you why. Because I was in Yeshiva with him when we were both young Talmidim, I don't know how old, 7, 8, I don't know how old we were, and we were in Panovich. Next door to Panovich, the Panovich arranged was a Bet Yisomim, an orphanage, organized and sponsored by Panovich Yeshiva. So the Panovich Rabbi was involved in it. He used to go a lot of times, but basically they were there. They learned Torah, they had the class all day long, and at night there was no one around to be the tatat, the chazer, to go over with them, the aleph beis, the chumash, whatever it was, right? So Shmuel was a young bacher, and he sees that these kids need a tata, need someone to do the homework with them. Every night he went over to them and he sat down, kamas aleph, kamas beis, I don't know how to go with the aleph beis, Vayetze, Yaakov, whatever it was. He was machni himself to sit with these 5, 10-year-old kids to go with them. They needed a tata. Can you imagine this? How we describe it? Can you imagine when Reb Shmuel left and so finally the Panovich Rav came and said, "Okay, you can go home now. I'm here. I'll take over. Fine." Can you imagine when Reb Shmuel got back to the Beis Medrash, how chashuv and how beautiful his Torah was? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He just finished sharing and teaching Torah to his children, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children, to his Yisomim, right, who have no parents. How valuable that is to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how beloved he is, and how much his Torah means because he shared his Torah. And he said that's really why he's a but it's all special schusha bullshit. There's no derech hateva in that. It doesn't make any sense. He wasn't, I'm not saying he wasn't, but it wasn't because he was smarter, it was because he worked. It wasn't. That's probably all true also. But the schusha he had to go ahead and be successful, to restore to Mekubal, is because of the fact that he was most in that fish, and he took care of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. It's not where I get the best, where I get the most from, what's the best way to become a Talmid Chacham. No, the best way is do what's right. Be most in nefesh for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's ratzon, for his mitzvahs, whatever it might be. Here's a great story. This is a great story. Just two more things. Great. This is a great story. There was a certain individual, an elderly person, who was there were a couple boys in Lakewood Base Medrash back in the 50s, I guess it was, when the Rabbi was still alive. They're sitting every Yom Kippur in the Base Medrash, also they hear a big noise, like a bang or something outside the window. And in the grass outside, they run outside to see what's going on. They see this old elderly man, he was lying on the floor, he obviously slipped and fell, bumped his head, he was, whatever, bleeding, whatever it was, he was in bad shape. They picked him up, put him inside, put him on a bed, took care of his wound, whatever. Comes Yom Kippur, he's still unable to go home, so they put him in the yeshiva, he stayed in the bed in the yeshiva. All day, Yom Kippur, there's always boys going back and forth, how's he doing, upstairs, from the base medrash, from the, to the room where he's staying, to make sure he's okay. Comes the Elah time. The Baron points to one of the boys, come here. I don't know how he said this like that, but he's tough, it's rough. Boy comes over and says, that old man is up there in the bed, he needs someone to be with him. It's Neil time, he would be very depressed and upset, whatever, who knows what, got get the daita, it'll get all crazy, Please go upstairs and daven Neil next to his bed, keep him coming for Neil. So, what would you say about that? You would say, Rabbi, I'm about to daven Neil in the Lakewood, BMG, with, I don't know, there wasn't thousands of people there, but, in the yeshiva, with the minyan, with the kolos of Rakim, it's the most important davening the whole year. You want me to give it all up that I should go to this guy's bed? Okay, so I can't, right? It's crazy. The Baruch looks him in the eye and says, Yassel, whatever it is, Yassel, that's what Hashem wants you to do. He wants listen. He wants you to answer your feelings. He doesn't want you down here with him with all the inspiration. You'll get no inspiration, but you get more schlusim and more Hashem answer your feelings later, because that's what he wants you to do. That's a powerful story. It's so beautiful, so true. That's Tali and Siyata D'Shemaya. We get Siyata D'Shemaya not to their Chateva, but rather through by going ahead and doing what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. And it's not the best davening, it's not the best concentration, but you have to, that's what Hashem wants you to do. Do what Hashem wants, that's what you get. I'll tell you one more story which I just heard, that's the great story. I love that Rabbi story. I'll tell you, so I just heard recently, could be some of you guys might have heard it, I think it's been going around the drop. But there was this Ben Torah in Eretz Yisrael, and he was going to Shidduchim. He was a chashva guy in the yeshiva, a very good guy, and he got a whole bunch of, a list from here to Canarsie, and had a whole bunch of names going at left and right. But he always said no, never had a second date. Why? Because he had a very big scar in his face. So didn't look so nice. Sorry? Whatever. It's a famous story about, not everyone knows the story, right? He had a big scar in his face. And he didn't know what to do, Getting frustrated, he'll tell all these girls, they all drop it to the first date. He went to Chaim Kanievsky. Chaim Kanievsky said, Rabbi, what should I do? It's not working, it's not happening. Every girl drops it, he goes, the usual Chaim just says, what is it, boo, is that what boo is, right? This time he took a special interest, says, let me tell you what to do. He says, you go out next time, right away, before anything happens, before the girl gets turned off, whatever, tell her what happened, tell her the story of why you have a scar. Put it fast, if she doesn't like it, fine, but maybe she'll understand, tell her, be upfront with her and claim that. Not just I'm ugly, but something happened, whatever, So he goes and he says, Rabbi, I was willing to tell this story, she'll feel, no, just tell her, it's nothing to do with you, it's not because I saw you were upset, but I want to tell you, I want to be straight with you. Goes in the day, right when the read starts off, like Chaim said, Hador says, he tells her, let me tell you what happened. When I was a young boy, 17, 5 years, whatever it was, I don't know how old he was now, 22, 25, I don't know how old he was. So when I was 17 years old, I was so younger, right? So I don't know. So that's why I don't know. But the marriage, of course, is 23, 24. Anyway, so he said when I was 17 years old, I was walking near Shar Shechem one day, and I see that there's some Arab guy with a knife running after some Jewish girl. And I see the guy has blood in his face. He has he's out together. Islas had to run after, so I ran after the guy and I attacked him, I jumped on him, whatever, we were fighting with the police. By the time the police came, they took him away. But the Maisa, I got a big gash on my face from that, and that's what this is from. So he finished telling the story, and he sees the girl. She's crying, she's bawling, she's so emotional, she's crying, she says, Mazel tov, we're chassan in college. I'm the girl. Wow. You saved my life. He says, and so what's my point? Baruch was Mazavi's looking, a terrible thing happened, he got a scar. That's how Hashem's plan was to find this collar. It's not always, I'm not saying we should want scars, okay, that's a story. When something happens to one of our roads, it's about shared, about has its reason. We don't know why, because we find that in 25 years and 75 years from now, but it's all with a plan. And this is the plan was they should find this girl, otherwise they wouldn't have got, we would get married to some other girl, shared. That's how Hashem runs the world, both sides.